Alright, welcome back to NRL Round 19 Tips and Prediction. Welcome, let's go. What's in it for you? Towards the end of the video, we'll just give you all the insights into NRL Round 19 games, and then we'll give you our bid builder connecting all of those games, right? So what we have for you now is this amount here for the next 7 games over the weekend. Alright, first game we have the Sharks versus the Dolphins on Friday at Sharks Stadium, so the Sharks have a home ground advantage. Looking at the team sheet, for the Sharks the only change that we have is Daniel Atkinson comes in at number 14, whereas for the Dolphins couple of key changes, with Max Feagai on center, Jake Averillo moves to the wing, Tino Sullivan comes in for Corey Nikorima, who is out injured. Otherwise, the rest of the team remains intact. Now looking at the last 5 games, the Dolphins have been on major form, giving 40 plus in all of their games on day 1. The Sharks, on the other hand, has lost 4 of their last 5. Now this game is at Sharks Stadium, so we expect the Sharks to put a strong fight. I believe the Dolphins will win, but probably by 1-12 margin, given that the Sharks are playing at home. Looking at try scorers, Team Mulitalo, we put a try between Feagai or Isaac on the wing. The last game between Storms, Mulitalo almost had a couple of opportunities to score there, so I think this round he will get the job done. In terms of tries, total points, the highest when either of those teams have won by 1-12 is 30 for the Sharks, and 20 for the Dolphins when they have lost, but the margin of still 1-12. So we'll just use 50 as our reference. Alright, what MDO has as our tip for this weekend, for this game is either team to win by 1-12. We're trying to keep safe. Now, we think there's going to be a lot of scoring happening, so both teams to score 14 points. And Renato Ronaldo Mulitalo to get a try. So the odd is 4. Alright? Okay, before we move on to the next game, just want to say thank you to our 890 subscribers who have always supported us. We've also noticed that 99% of our viewers have subscribed. So please subscribe and let's bring this number up to 900 subscribers. Let's get 10 more, please. Alright, without further ado, let's move on. The next game, which is the first one on Saturday, we have the Knights up against the Storms at McDonald's James Stadium, so the Knights have an advantage there in terms of their home ground. Looking at the team sheet, big loss for the Knights, Kalin Ponga is out, so Fletcher Hunt comes in at number 1, Grid Muzzy Water comes in at number 5, so Chilla is out. There's a bit of change with Phoenix Crosland moving into the dummy half and Jaden Brayley onto the bench. As for the Melbourne Storms, Ryan Papenhausen comes in as fullback. Last week he didn't play because of a thumb injury, so we expect him to rip in this weekend. And Senas Sefa Solomona moves to Tethin Log, and Stefan Nowick to Kamanu will come back in from Origin. Munster and Harry Grant won't play. They will be rested. Munster has his issue at home with his family. Rest in peace to Munster. Our condolences to Munster and his family. Alright, looking at how they line up in the field. This is how they line up. Storms haven't won comfortably, although they have won all of the last 5, and the Knights have been on form lately with the inclusion of Bradman Best and few of the key forwards. So we think it's going to be a tough game, but Storms to win by 1-12. Looking at the try scorer, was still think Dominic Young would go over between Chen and Brown, who are both quite new here. So I think that side of the Melbourne Storm is a bit vulnerable. In terms of total points, when the margin was 1-12, the highest the Knights have scored was 18, the Storms was 28, so we use 46 as our guide. Now going towards our tip for this game, we have Melbourne Storms to win by 1-12, and both teams to score 14 points. Alright? Next game, we have the Dragons versus the Roosters at Jubilee Stadium. I'm looking at the team sheet. Changes for the Dragons, we have Wallendan Holmes returning from the state of origin. Luciano Leilua also comes in, and Hemi Stewart. As for the Roosters, we have all of the origin stars to back up, in the likes of Robert Toa, Connor Watson, Lindsay Collins, Angus Crichton, Spencer Leniu. Also a big add retired easy from injury, and Billy Smith as well. And Mark moves to the wing. To create space for Robert Toa. Alright, that's how they line up in the field. You can have a look at it. Looking at their form-wise, both of them have, not really been consistent. The Roosters lost to the Tigers last week, so I think they'd come back with a bit of fire this round. The Ray on the other end, the Dragons almost beat the Readers last week. So that's something to consider, so we expect either team to win by 12 in this round. In terms of try score, I will still have Mark to maintain his try scoring streak. In terms of total points, when either team have won by 1 to 12, the highest was 24 for Dragons and 28 for the Roosters, so we'll have 52 as our guidance or guideline. Alright? Our tip for this game, we have either team to win by 1 to 12, and both teams to score 14 points. Okay? Next game, we have Cowboys versus the Bulldogs at Queensland Countrybank Stadium, so the Cowboys have an advantage here. In terms of the team sheet, Tommy Dearden comes in at halfback from Morrison duties. Rhys Robson also comes in, Ruben Kota, Manana, all of them in. Alright, for the Bulldogs, the same story. We have Stephen Crichton, Jacob Kiraz, Catman, Max King, all back from Morrison duties. In this round, Matt Braden moved to number 6, and Lachlan Galvin goes to 17. Marcelo Montoya is injured, so you have another 2 la Kawarna for him. Alright, that's how they line up in the field. The Bulldogs have not been in good form. You expect them to do better, but they've lost 2 in a row now. I don't think they would make it 3. So, I don't see any way the Cowboys should win. So although it's at their home ground, we expect the Bulldogs to win, so we'll say it'll put up nail in lead like last week. By the Bulldogs, but the Cowboys won't go away, they will still fight to maintain some close-up in the Mets. So I expect probably Bulldogs to win by 1 to 12. Try scorer, I'm going to create on a Preston. One entry that kept between Clifford and Purdue. So you can have a go at that in terms of total points. Winner of team have won 1 to 12. The highest the Cowboys have reached was 30. Bulldogs 24, so we'll use 54 total as our reference. Okay, our tip we have Bulldogs to lead at 60-minute mark and Bulldogs to win by 1 to 12. Okay? Alright, moving to the second last game of the round, the Warriors versus Tigers. Now, big loss for the Warriors. Looking at the team seats, Luke Metcalf is out of the season. He's been a good player so far. Very unfortunate news. We also have Chance Nicotlockstad, who is out of this round, so to a pick he comes a fullback. And what then is Dennis Leak returns. Tanner Boyd comes in at number 7, and Reed Egan at number 9. As for the Tigers, you have Darren Luai from Morrison duty. Apsa Corasso is back at number 9, so Adam Dewey moves to the centers. Preston Hape comes to 14, and Jake Bett comes in at number 17. Okay, it would be at Gomeda Stadium in Edgeland, so the Warriors have an home run advantage. I don't think the Warriors will blow out the Tigers. The Tigers have been on absolute fire last week. The Warriors, on the other hand, have been losing, but given that they lost Luke Metcalf at Lukestad, I don't see a place where Warriors would win by 13 plus. So I expect Warriors to win, but by 1 to 12. If you're gonna look at try scoring options, I'm expecting Tyler Staines to go for it. Try on this ring. He scored one last week. He has good record against the Warriors. I think he scored 3 tries in their past 2 matches. So that's a good stat to consider as well. In terms of total points, when they won us by 1 to 12 margin, the highest they have scored, Warriors 36, Tigers 30, so really 66 as our reference. Okay, our tip, we have Warriors to win by 1 to 12 at home ground, and both teams to score 14 points. Okay, the Eels versus the Panthers on Combank Stadium, so it's the home ground of both of those teams, but mainly the Eels. Okay, looking at the team sheet, Talent da Silva comes in at number 14. A media transfer from the Tigers, and Sam Tuivati at number 17. As for the Panthers, Dane Laurie comes in at fullback, Port Alamoti at number 5, Bill Snyder at 7, Jack Cole at 14, Mary Gaya at 17. The important thing to note is all of their origin stars are still named, but they are in the reserve, so there's a possibility of all of them coming in towards the game day. So that's something to keep in mind. That's how they will line up in the field. If you look at try-scoring opportunities, I think Alamoti to score somewhere between Adoka and Russell, although Jenkins has been on fire, so he might get a run through the wing. But bear in mind, Brent Orr might come in for Alamoti as well, so we never know. They are still named with reserve, but it's highly doubtful how the final lineup will be, so just keep an eye up on that. In terms of total points, when either team have won by 1 to 12, we have 10 and 28, so take it as a reference. Now, these two teams have a history of very tight matches 1 to 12. I'm convinced to go 13 plus with the Panthers, but based on the historical matches, we'll just take a risk on this one and say a 1 to 12 win by Panthers. Alright, so that's what tip we have 1 to 12 by Panthers. And total points under 50.5. Right? That's 404 for you right there. Okay, the last game, the main game for the round, Titans versus the Broncos. It's Seba Super Stadium. I think that's Titans home ground. Now, if you look at the lineup, Jaden DeGroot comes in at number 2. Dayton Campbell comes in at number 7. Good boost for them. Sam Varials come in. Tino, also at number 13. Jacob Walik at 14 and David Fifita at number 16. Man, this lineup looks a bit scary. As for the Broncos, you have Reese Wills, Jimet Sibuska Sasaki, Ben Hunt, Payne Haas, Patrick Carrigan, all of them in. Now, this is the first time in 2025 when we have the full back line or the full spine of the Brisbane Broncos will be playing for the first time. You will have Reese Wills, Ezra Mam, Adam Reynolds, Ben Hunt. Now if we add that with Kerrigan and Payne Haas, and then you have Willis and Otsu in the starting side, that's a team to be afraid of. Alright? Try score everything. Marina gonna score on the wing here. Total points we go Broncos 30 plus. Now they have played recently, so this is how the score has been. Titans have scored 14 and Broncos 44, so we'll use this as our reference. Now in here with the team Broncos we win by 13 plus. Both teams to score 10 points, and Broncos to lead at 16. Now, if you look all of this together, this is what you get. If you put like a $5 stake there. So, that is what we think is the tip for this weekend. There is always risk. Do your own judgment. Go for safer options. Don't take as much of a bigger risk like we do. Alright? Be responsible. Enjoy the weekend. Take care. Thank you for your support. Please subscribe if you haven't. Let's go. See you all.